The rain painted streaks across the foggy cafe window, blurring the world outside into smudges of gray and gold. Elena stirred her coffee absent-mindedly, the spoon clinking softly against the porcelain. It was strange being back here, Café Elena. The faded wood-paneled walls, the mismatched chairs, the aroma of strong coffee and cinnamon. Everything was the same. But for Elena it felt foreign now. This cafe used to be her favorite place in the world. Because it had been their place. Liam and Elena. For 2 years, they'd been inseparable. The kind of couple people whispered about with envy. They met here, right by the window seat. He was reading some old poetry book. His coffee forgotten on the table. She tripped on her own bag strap walking past him, and he caught her arm before she hit the floor. It was cliché. It was ridiculous. And it was perfect. Liam had this effortless charm. A boyish grin, eyes the color of whiskey, and a voice that made every promise sound sincere. He'd pull her into his orbit, spinning plans and dreams like silk, and she'd believe every word. In the beginning he was everything. Weekend getaways to the coast. Slow, sleepy mornings tangled in sheets. Endless late-night talks about childhood regrets and wild hopes for the future. He made her feel seen, truly seen, in a way no one else had. But real life has sharp edges. It started small late-night work calls he brushed off as last-minute projects. Messages he hid when she walked by. Subtle distance in his eyes when they shared quiet dinners. She told herself it was stress. Growing pains. Temporary. Love made her blind to the fractures beneath the surface. Until the fractures split wide open. The messages. Photos. The undeniable truth that while she was building a life with him, he was laying bricks elsewhere, with someone else. Betrayal wasn't just the affair. It was the lies. The gaslighting. The way he made her feel foolish for asking questions, for trusting her gut. Left. Packed her life into boxes, slammed the door on their future, and promised herself she wouldn't look back. Until tonight. The bell above the door chimed, slicing through her thoughts. Liam walked in. She recognized him instantly, despite the 3 years that had stretched between them. His dark hair was longer now, curling slightly at the edges, his jaw dusted with scruff. He looked older, worn down. The easy confidence he once carried like a second skin was gone, replaced by something raw, uncertain. For a moment their eyes locked. "Elena," he breathed, approaching the table like it was sacred ground. His voice was the same, warm, rough around the edges, a voice that once promised forever and shattered it in the same breath. She didn't smile, didn't speak, just gestured toward the empty chair across from her. He sat down opposite her, wiping rainwater from his leather jacket. For a moment neither spoke. The only sounds were the faint hum of the espresso machine and the low indie music playing overhead. Finally he broke the silence. "I didn't think you'd agree to meet. I almost didn't." Her voice was calm, carefully measured, like rehearsed lines from a play she never wanted to star in. Liam let out a breathy chuckle, eyes darting to the window. "Yeah, I wouldn't have either after what I did." Memories flooded her unbidden. His late-night absences, the lies piling like unread texts, the sharp sting of betrayal when she found the truth, the secret messages, the other woman, the endless excuses. "It wasn't just what you did, Liam," she corrected, setting her coffee down. "It's what you kept doing." His expression crumbled, shame pulling his features down. "I know. And I deserve everything you feel towards me." He paused, fingers trembling slightly. "I'm not here to beg. I've spent the last 3 years rebuilding. Got help. Therapy. I've been sober. I had to face the ugly parts of myself." Elena watched him, eyes narrowing. Once upon a time, his words could sway her. The charm, the vulnerability, it was intoxicating. But not tonight. "Good for you," she replied flatly. "But your self-improvement doesn't come with an automatic reset on us." Liam flinched as if struck. "I'm not asking to erase the past, Elena. I'm asking for..." his voice faltered. A second chance. I don't know, prove I'm different. She let the silence stretch, watching the rain trace its endless path down the glass. Second chance. It echoed in her mind, heavy with irony. How often had she given him that? The first time, when she found flirtatious texts. The second, when she heard whispers from mutual friends. The third, when she discovered undeniable proof. Each time he swore it was the last. Each time she believed him. Each time he broke her all over again. Elena leaned in, her voice quiet but sharp. You know the problem with people like you, Liam. You think second chances are a right, not a privilege. You think showing up now, with your therapy sessions and apologies, rewrites history. I don't. You do. Her jaw tensed, eyes glassy but fierce. I gave you chances. Over and over. You used them to lie, to cheat, to chip away at my self-worth until I didn't recognize the woman in the mirror. Liam's hand hovered near hers on the table but didn't dare close the distance. His bravado, the cocky arrogance he once wore like cologne, had dissolved into pure desperation. I was broken, he whispered, voice hoarse. But I've changed. Elena exhaled a slow, steady breath. Good. But your change isn't my responsibility. And it sure as hell doesn't obligate me to reopen old wounds. From his jacket pocket, he pulled out a familiar silver bracelet. The tiny bridge charm dangled, glinting under the dim cafe light. It was their symbol, the bridge they'd promised to always cross back to each other. Her throat tightened at the sight of it. You kept it, she murmured, more to herself than him. It reminded me, he said softly, of what I lost, of what I ruined. For a brief, dangerous moment, her mind wavered, back to the nights they lay tangled in sheets, whispering dreams, to the road trips with loud music and louder laughter, to the raw electric connection that once made them feel unstoppable. But then came the avalanche of broken promises, the sleepless nights, the gut-wrenching discovery of betrayal, the self-doubt that gnawed at her confidence like termites in wood. She straightened, steel replacing softness in her eyes. The thing about burned bridges, Liam, she said evenly, is they don't rebuild themselves. They stay ashes. Some people, they earn second chances. Others lose the right to ask for one. Liam's eyes glistened with unshed regret. You really mean that? I do. She stood, pulling her coat tight around her frame. I hope you stay on this new path. For you. But I'm not part of your redemption arc. He nodded slowly, defeated. You won't ever. Elena shook her head gently, decisive. No. Some bridges we're not meant to cross twice. Without another glance, she turned toward the exit. The cold air kissed her cheeks as she stepped into the street, the rain having faded to a mist. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A text from Maya, her closest friend, the one who helped pick up the pieces after Liam. You okay? Elena smiled faintly, the weight in her chest finally lifting. Yeah. I finally closed the chapter. As she walked away, she realized, not everyone deserves a second chance. And sometimes walking away wasn't weakness. It was survival,